Happy New Year, everyone. Today I thought I would do a video of some of the items I added to my collection during the month of December. Some of these items were things I purchased during the December sales, whereas others were gifts I received for Christmas. First up is the second season of Durara. I paid about £14 for this set, which, considering they're normally £15 each, I was pretty happy with that. Durara, in case you don't know, is set in the district of Ikebukuro in Tokyo, and the series just follows the lives of 5 or 6 characters around, and all the stories sort of mesh together. The first series I really enjoyed, so if you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. Okay, next up is Hal, which is a 60-minute movie. I have seen the movie before, but they were selling the collector's edition for £2.99, so I just couldn't resist picking that up. It's a decent movie. It's not, breaking down any walls or anything like that, but I enjoyed it, and I know Francesca hadn't seen it, so I thought it'd be a good chance for her to check it out too. I'm not going to read the blurb off the back because that's got a lot of spoilers in it, but basically I think the gist is a girl's boyfriend has died, and they send in sort of a cybernetic clone to sort of fill the gap and help her overcome her depression. That isn't a spoiler, by the way, so don't worry about that. But yeah, if you ever see it this cheap, it's definitely worth checking out. Next up is the second season of the Pattleball OVAs. I know most of the group don't really go in for Mecha, but I'm a big Pat Labor fan. I watched the original movies a long time ago and sort of fell in love with them. And the first series of OVAs was available in a sale, quite a while ago. And I picked that up then and watched it probably a month or two back. And thought, wow, these OVAs are really cool. And when the second series became available in the Christmas sales this year, I think it was £2. I couldn't resist picking it up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. The last item I bought in the sales was Cami Sama dolls. I'll be honest, I know pretty much nothing about this show. I just saw Francesca and my sister were just buying deals left, right and centre, and I felt a little bit left out. So of all the items that was available, this was the one that sort of caught my eye the best, so I bought it. I think the premise is about a boy that sort of controls these sort of wooden gods that look like giant white eyeballs. And yeah, I mean, that's his power, but he's left his old town and everything behind, and all his past is following him to his new life, and it looks okay. I don't know if anyone's seen it. If they have, feel free to say that it's really good or it's really shit. Let me know anyway. Okay, I'll move on to some of the things I picked up for Christmas. Akira on Blu-ray. Yeah, again, Akira I've obviously seen before. Saw it a really long time ago. I think I probably have it on DVD, but I really wanted to check it out in Blu-ray. And from what Manga was saying, they've got the 2 different dubs on here, like the more modern updated dub and the dub from several years ago. And that's the dub that I'm familiar with. So knowing that I can watch it with the dub that I'm used to sort of really appealed to me. And I really wanted to see what it sort of looked like on Blu-ray. So I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I think it's set in it's set in 2019, but 2019 is the future in this case. And I think sort of Tokyo's been destroyed, then rebuilt, and it follows a biker gang around, and they sort of get involved with the military and some sort of special experiments, and it sort of goes from there. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. But I mean, it's quite a long movie, so I'm going to try and sort of probably watch it in 2 sittings, because otherwise it does feel long. Okay, next up is Sales at Work. It's another one I don't actually really know that much about, but the sort of premise really, really interested me. It's, I think basically the idea is all the characters in the show are like cells that are inside the human body, and that, the red blood cell, the white blood cell, and it just sort of follows those characters around and all the jobs they do. And the show might be good, it might be absolutely terrible, I've got no idea, but that premise was enough for me to really want to check this out. I've had my eye on it for a while, so I'm really glad this this appeared in my collection. Next up is Steins Gate Zero. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews of this. I think Alfie said he really didn't like Steins Gate Zero, but I really, really loved the first series, and when I found out there was more, I couldn't resist getting it, really. I assume everyone in the group knows what Steins Gate is and what it's about, but basically it's just a sort of time travel show set in a science lab, and that's all you really need to tell me for me to watch it. But yeah, the first series is absolutely amazing, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Okay, now I've got a couple of items that aren't anime, but they're in the same sort of domain. First up is Blood the Last Vampire, the live action movie. I've seen the original Blood the Last Vampire anime. I've also seen Blood C, the TV series. So it was just a sort of natural progression to watch the live action movie. I know most of the group do not like live action adaptations, and yeah, they are very hit and miss. But I just love anime, and when I find out there's something more, I want to see what they've done. It may be terrible, and if Hollywood's doing a movie that's 84 minutes long, that probably doesn't bode well. But I wanted to check it out. For those that don't know, the Blood the Last Vampire franchise follows the story of a girl called Saya, who I think is possibly a half human, half vampire. I can't really remember anymore. And she's just going around chopping up vampires, really. It's kind of like Blade, if you've seen Blade, I think, but with a Japanese schoolgirl with swords. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that one. Next up is a manga, Frankenstein by Junji Ito. We've been reading a little bit of Junji Ito this year. He's sort of like Japan's master of manga horror, and I sort of quite like his stories. So, and this just, I don't know why, I saw the artwork and this just really appealed to me. It'd sort of be nice to see, Frankenstein done in that style, I think. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Hopefully it'll be good. Next up is Satoshi Kon's Opus. This was a gift from Francesca. It's something I knew absolutely nothing about. I'd never even heard of, but I'm a big Satoshi Kon fan, so that's a good starting point. For the reference, Satoshi Kon did Paprika, Paranoia Agent, Tokyo Godfathers, Millennium Actress, and Perfect Blue. I like most of those things, so that's a good sort of starting point again. Yeah, again, it's a manga. I'm looking forward to it quite a lot, Like I say, big Satoshi Kon fan, so that should be pretty enjoyable. I did read a little bit of the back. I think it's about a manga creator who's writing a story, and then it sort of like warps a little bit, and the story's characters are sort of coming out into the real world and sort of saying, hey, write our story this way. So that might not be what it's about at all, to be fair, but that's the premise I got. That's the sort of feel I got from reading the back. So yeah, that's just classic Satoshi Kon, really. So yeah, again, really looking forward to that one. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's just two little other things. Sharing a house with Neverending Man and Schoolgirl Milky Crisis. These are more sort of non-fiction, really. Schoolgirl Milky Crisis is written by Jonathan Clements, who's sort of a big player in the Western sort of anime world, and these are all just anecdotes about the things he's experienced, sort of creating dubs and negotiating with companies. and I think it's all done really sort of short sections. So like, you know, I've got time to read for 5 minutes, pick it up and read a little short story. So I'm sort of looking forward to that one. And Sharing a House with a Never-Ending Man is written by Steve Alpert, who I believe worked at Studio Ghibli for 15 years, and he was sort of in charge in bringing all the Studio Ghibli films to the rest of the world. And these are just sort of like how it all sort of came about. So it might be a bit sort of dry, it might be quite entertaining, I'm really not sure, but it's one that I wanted to check out just because I thought it might be quite interesting. Anyway, and that is everything, which is more than enough really. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Have a good new year. Cheers.